In the summer of 1977, a single mother named Peggy Hodgson called the police to her Enfield home in North London. She was terrified. Her daughter's beds were shaking, and a heavy chest of drawers moved across the room on its own, blocking the door. When the police arrived, one officer swore she saw a chair slide several feet by itself. That was just the beginning. What followed became Britain's most famous poltergeist case. For nearly 2 years, the Hodgson family's council house at 284 Green Street was a circus of paranormal chaos. 11-year-old Janet and 13-year-old Margaret were at the center. Knocking sounds answered questions. Toys flew around as if hurled by invisible hands, and even the local mailman left a believer. Most chilling of all, a gruff disembodied voice began to speak from thin air, or more precisely, from Janet, who sat in a trance as the voice, calling itself Bill, claimed he had died in that very house. Paranormal investigators moved in and documented dozens of incidents: beds shaking, Janet appearing to levitate, mysterious puddles, and even fires that put themselves out. The Enfield house became a magnet for journalists, ghost hunters, and even American demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. But as the media frenzy grew, so did skepticism. Investigators caught the girls bending spoons and bouncing off beds. Janet was found banging a broom handle to fake knocking noises. The girls admitted to staging some of the activity to see if we could fool you, though they later backtracked. Some researchers noticed the haunting always seemed to happen when the girls when the girls were alone, and Janet's levitation looked suspiciously like a kid jumping off her bed. Experts analyzed the so-called demonic voice and concluded it was just Janet using a trick of the throat. The Hodgson kids, by all accounts, were mischievous and loved attention. With the world watching, it was hard for them not to add some theatrics. Even Janet later said about 2% of it was phony and the rest was real. Skeptics wonder if that ratio should be flipped. So, was the Enfield haunting real, or just a grand performance by two clever sisters? Some investigators insist there were moments that couldn't be faked, like heavy furniture moving when the girls were elsewhere. Others say never underestimate the creativity of teenagers. Notably, when Janet was away from the house, nothing happened, and when the family stopped focusing on the poltergeist, the activity faded away. Enfield remains a mystery. Part ghost story, part magic trick. Maybe the real haunting wasn't by a spirit, but by the power of suggestion and a couple of very imaginative kids. Sources: Playfair's This House is Haunted, SPR reports by Anita Gregory and John Beloff, Time Out London, and Joe Nichols' analysis in Skeptical Inquirer.